Happy New Year! Happy 2020. We realise we're well into the year by now, but we thought we'd share a bit of a roundup of 2019 and also take a look at 2020. We're going to be sharing our 2020 Goodreads challenge, 5 books we vow to read this year, and also 5 books we vow to reread. Keep listening to find out which stories we've added to our lists. What are you currently reading?
I am currently reading Rated by Melissa Gray.
Okay.
Which is a book I had not heard about until I discovered it on the library app thing. But basically, all of society is rated, and you have a rating out of 0 to 100. And, the higher your rating, the more popular you are, kind of thing. And I saw it and I thought, that sounds like the kind of dystopian things I like, and I'm really enjoying it so far.
Cool.
It's not a great story. I'm 60% through it, and I feel like there's meant to be some kind of mystery in it, but basically at the moment it's just kind of introducing the characters, because there's, I want to say 6 or 7 different characters where, there's the chapter thing.
Yeah. That's a lot.
That is a lot to do between each chapter. So, there's meant to be a kind of whodunit type thing, and they all get these mysterious cards that connect them, but other than the graffiti at the start of the book and the cards they've all received, nothing has happened.
Well, maybe it all happens in the last 40%.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. At the moment, they're kind of just they didn't really know they knew each other before, but they weren't really talking to each other, and now they're starting to talk to each other in different sets. So they're kind of paired off. So I'm thinking that once they pair off and get to know each other, and then they'll start coming together even more, and then something will go down.
In the last 10%, it'll all become clear.
Yes. But basically, at the moment, the ratings, they kind of matter, but they also don't. I feel like the story could be exactly the same, even without the rating system. But I did say I was enjoying it, didn't I?
Yeah.
It sounds like I'm not, but I am. Yeah. But Yep, so that is what I'm reading.
Cool.
Just the one. I'm enjoying it.
I am currently reading The Truth About Magic by Atticus. So this is a short poems collection. He's that guy who's on Instagram and writes short, sweet little poems, which are literally 10 words, and that's kind of it. So this book came out last year, and my friend got it for me for my birthday, so I was pumped about that. So I'm reading that, but also it's poems, so it's short.
Yes.
So I am also just about to pick up Slay by Brittany Morris.
Ooh.
And this is just kind of classic YA stuff, but also kind of a gaming online VR type vibe.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I got it from the publishers last year. Whoops. So, I have to read that. And then I think I'm mostly caught up with last year's books. Yes. But that one's really short. It's only 10 pages. And by 10, I mean 318. So it's only going to take a couple of reading sessions.
I mean, it depends on the storyline.
That's true.
Because the past 2 books I've read have both been about that size, but one took me about a week, which is my normal book reading speed, and then the other one, I'm technically still reading it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't think I've even reached halfway through it, but I've just kind of given up on it.
Yeah, maybe just abandon it then.
Yeah.
It might be time to, put it away.
It's kind of annoying because the story's good, but the writing is terrible. It's not terrible, it's just boring. It's they describe everything, and you don't really need to describe everything, and then they have flashbacks to history and...
Okay, well, hopefully this one is not like that.
Hopefully it's more like Infinity Sun, which is great.
Which I'm going to pick up after that, and I'm super excited about it. And yeah, it is quite short, isn't it?
Yeah.
353 pages.
Yes, that was really good.
I'm very excited about Infinity Sun by Adam Silvera, which I will read after Slay.
Yep, I technically only have one publisher book left on my shelf.
Oh, that's very good.
Which I got at the same time as Infinity Sun, so I should probably read that next.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, then it moves on to all the other books I have to read.
2019. So we're doing a little recap of 2019 and our Goodreads goals and our books that we vowed to read and vowed to reread. How many was your Goodreads goal?
50. And I did 52, I think.
Nice. Well done.
So I just made it,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I had a very busy last part of the year, so
Yeah, it gets really busy, eh?
it does. I took like a month to read a book, and I'm like, I'm really glad I made it to 50 before December started, because otherwise I would not have made it.
Yeah, I think that's actually the goal, right? To get all your books done by the end of November.
Yes.
Yeah.
It may have been December, but I can't remember. But I'm pretty sure The Toll was my 50th book.
Okay.
And I was like, yes, a cool book as my 50th book.
Yeah.
And then also trying to finish your last book before the 31st finishes, so you don't have to count, like, you don't count it to the next month.
Yeah, I did that as well.
Even though that's like such a head start, but still, I don't like.
Day one and you've already finished a book.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I did exactly the same thing. I think I finished a book. No, a little bit different, because I was like frantically trying to finish a book before I left just after Christmas to go on holiday, because I didn't want to take it with me. So I like finished that one, and then I took like 3 books with me and managed to get through 2 of them before New Year's. So that was good. Yeah.
Good. You got way more than 50.
Yeah, so my goal was also 50, but I read 70. Again, I don't really know what happened. And there were some like big books in that last year. Thanks, Cassandra Clare. 800 pages for a book. And so, yeah, who knows? I think summer also helped, like, you know, like two books in a week, or, you know, sometimes like breaks. Like the beginning of last year, like I read quite a few books in January because it was still summer and I still had time off.
Yeah.
So like the year started off well, and I think once I had like you know how Goodreads is like, you're on track, or you're like 1 book
you're
ahead.
5 books ahead.
You're 10 books ahead. Okay, great, cool. You know, it was like, great, perfect. But then I had a couple of books that took me like a couple of weeks, and I was like, oh no, but it was fine apparently. So
Apparently so.
Yeah.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
So have you upped your goal since you did 70?
Yes, because I try to up it every year, but I think 2018 I also had 50. But this year, 2020, I've just upped it to 60. Like, more than 50, but not too ambitious, I think.
Yeah. How much do you usually raise it by?
Like 5. So I've kind of doubled how much I raise it for this year. But we will see. I've read 2 books so far.
Good.
Yeah, and today's the 17th.
I've read one.
Yeah.
I decided as I read 52 not to raise it for the first time in many years. I think I've always raised it by at least 5, but I think usually 10, but I didn't think I could do it. I didn't have faith in myself. And it completely
depends on what books you read as well, because you might read like 80 books at 250 pages. You know, like, it depends how many.
Yeah, I was comparing the Goodreads does that, like, end of year review thing with my mum, because she's read about, I think, a couple of books more than me, but I had read, like, I think she had, like, 12,000 pages, and I think I had, like, 18,000 or something.
Oh, okay. So you had...
And I was like...
So you had read longer books, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so I had read more pages, but she had read more books.
Yeah.
And I was like... Well, you didn't beat me then, did you?
No, yeah. It kind of evens out then, Mum.
Yes. So technically, if I read shorter books, I might have read more than 52, but I don't want to raise it and then be like, oh, I have to meet this goal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You want it to be achievable and not, what am I trying to say? You want it to be achievable and not be stressful and then not enjoy reading.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of like all those book bloggers either last year or the year before set their Goodreads goal to 1.
Oh, yeah.
It's like they didn't want like the pressure, and I'm like, what's the point?
Yeah. I still like to have a number just because mostly like interest's sake. I'm like, oh, I read a lot of books this year.
Yeah, like I set a reasonable goal that I will probably achieve. But I'm not going to do something stupid like putting on 1.
Yeah, no.
Because I've already achieved that and haven't finished the first month.
I know, right? Yeah.
And I'm already a slow reader.
Oh, a book in a week is
But-
not a slow reader. Not compared to most people I know.
I mean more the fact that it was the 17th and I've already read one book.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was read before I went back to work, so that was before the 6th.
Yeah, see, that's reasonable. See, it's fine.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a reasonable time. It's just I haven't read another book
Yeah, but you're
since.
60% through your next one.
Yes, I am. And who knows who through the other one that I'm probably going to give up on.
I think just give up.
Yeah, I think I just picked the wrong book up at the wrong time.
Yeah. Maybe put it away and
That was
try
not
again
what
later.
Yeah, that was not what I needed for my first week back
Oh,
at
yeah.
work. Trying to do work and then going on your break and reading a textbook,
Yeah.
basically. Not what I needed. Anyway, books to read and books to reread. How did you do last year?
Yes, so I vowed to read 5 books. So we do this with Bloggers Bookshelf and we all pick 5 books that we vow to read during the year. And last year I picked Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, A Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy, King of Scars, P.S. I Still Love You, and Truly Devious. I read all of them except for P.S. I Still Love You. And I read A Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy twice. So do with that information what you will.
Okay.
So I got 4 out
You
of
got
5
4
of
out
my
of
vow
5.
to read last year. Yeah. Which I think is very good for me because normally we do this. Like we've been doing this on Bloggers Bookshelf for multiple years now. And I normally only ever get 2 or 3. So
So 4 is good.
4 is very good. I think I've learned the trick is to add to those lists what I'm hoping to read anyway.
Yes.
Rather than kind of look at the books that I should have read 10 years ago and vow to read them. You know?
Yep.
Makes it a little bit more achievable.
The thing I learned from doing it last year compared to the year before, because the year before, the 2018, I did all 5.
Mm-hmm, nice.
This year, I only managed 4.
Yeah.
So the thing I learned was to do it earlier in the year.
Yes.
Get them over and done with.
Yeah.
Because I did the first 4, I think, within like the first few months of the year. And then the last one just kept sitting on my TBR shelf for like ages and ages. Like I looked at it every time I went to pick up another book. But I just didn't pick it up,
pick
and
it
then it was still sat there in December.
Yep.
And I had Christmas books to read, and I just couldn't do it.
Yep.
And it's still sat there staring at me.
So have you added that book to your next year's list? This year's list?
No.
Yeah. I didn't add my one to this year's list either, although I know that I am going to read it because P.S. I Still Love You, the movie, comes out in X amount of months.
Yeah. So I did manage to read Conjuring of Light, Throne of Glass, The Tattooist of Auschwitz, and Crazy Rich Asians,
Nice.
which I'm glad I read.
Yes.
But all the light we cannot see is still sitting on my shelf staring at me.
Yes.
And that rhymed.
Yeah.
But I think the way I thought about it was the fact that I didn't want to read it for the whole year, so I thought maybe not put it on my vow to read.
Yeah. I think that's wise.
Or it might sit there for another year. I might get around to it. It's going to stay there, but I decided not to move it on. Yeah. I picked new ones for this
Good.
year.
Yeah. So your vow to reread last year? This isn't something that we do with Bloggers Bookshelf, but this is something that we decided to do at the beginning of last year because we kept talking about books that we wanted to reread but just haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
So what was on your list?
On my list was City of Bones, The Book Thief, Anna and the French Kiss, A Court of Thorns and Roses, and Divergent. And I only did 3.
Still, 3's pretty good.
3 is good.
It's over half.
I've read them before, so it's fine. But I did really want to read The Book Thief again, but it's just, it's chunky.
Yeah,
And so
it
is, what was the other one? City of Bones. City of Bones is also chunky. Like, they're both chunky books.
Yeah, and City of Bones is chunky, but it's not as chunky as all the other ones. It's the smallest chunk of all.
No, and I feel like if I did read City of Bones and enjoyed it,
Yes.
I'd want to continue on with them, and then
Yeah, there goes.
that's a lot of pages.
Months.
But I did enjoy going back to the other ones and rereading them, because I hadn't read Divergent in a long while, and I didn't really remember what had happened. And it was nice to reread it and go back to like I would have been, I want to say like 17, 16, 18, no, probably 16 when I first did it.
So did you enjoy it as much as the first time, do you think? Can you remember?
I don't think as much,
Okay,
but it was
that's
pretty
good.
close. I think the one, I really enjoyed Anna and the French Kiss again, even though I'd read that not more recently than the others, because I'd read A Court of Thorns and Roses like last year or the year before or whatever. But that was really good to go back to, because it's just a feel-good book. It makes you like.
Yeah, I haven't read it yet, but I get the general vibe.
Yeah, like it's easy, it's good, it's good. And then A Court of Thorns and Roses, I definitely didn't enjoy it as much as the first, and it was interesting to read, having read the other ones and knowing what's going to happen. Because like I remember the first time I read it, I really, really enjoyed Tamlin. I really enjoyed their romance. Like they were like cute. I loved them. I shipped them. And then the rest of the books happened.
That went out the window.
And now he is nowhere near my to be shipped list.
Yeah.
Yes, and it was just fun going back to read it. Yeah, so I have no idea when the next book's going to be out.
Yeah.
That untitled thing that apparently is happening.
Yeah.
How do you go?
So my reread list for last year was Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, A Series of Unfortunate Events, The Bad Beginning, which is the first one. Surprise, surprise. And then, and Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. And then I semi-cheated again and picked the Shadow and Bone series. And also, so that's 3 books. And the Six of Crows duology, which is obviously 2 books. And if we count Shadow and Bone series as 1, and also Six of Crows duology as 1, then I read 4 out of 5. And the only one I didn't read was Fangirl, which was like a bummer because I really wanted to reread that. But I managed to read Shadow and Bone series on audio, and also Harry Potter was a mix of audio and physical copy. Actually, so was A Series of Unfortunate Events. I did a lot of audiobook listening last year.
Yeah, Divergent was I audiobooked. It's way easier to audiobook when you kind of vaguely know the story.
Yeah, that's my new rule. Like, unless I'm doing something. So I took 3 solo road trips in 2019. And every single road trip I managed to read/listen to an entire audiobook on them. Because I listen at 1.5 speed. Because ain't nobody got time for 1 speed. Come on. What's with all these pauses? Just keep reading. So, yeah, but have to... Unless I'm like driving and the only thing I have to concentrate on is not dying, then I can read a new audiobook. But all the others have to be rereads.
Yeah.
Which was how I reread A Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy last year as well. So yeah, the only one I didn't read was Fangirl.
Cool.
Yeah. So again, quite proud of that. Yep.
Fun fact, that's on my vow to reread for this year.
Is it? I was going to put it on my vow to reread and then I was like, you know what? No. We've moved on. If I manage to pick it up, then amazing. Go me.
Yep.
But also, I'm going to leave it for now. We'll just see what happens.
I have to find how I read it the first time. Because I don't have the book, so I don't know how I read it last time. It must have been must be on my Kindle, maybe, I don't know. But yes. So, we have done Goodreads for this year. You're doing 70, I'm doing 50. So, books to read.
Yes. So,
what are your 5?
This year, I vow to read, and we'll see how we go, A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. Because I need to actually keep reading those.
Best one.
Yeah. The Near Witch by Victoria Schwab, because it's one of the only ones of hers that I haven't read yet. The Vanishing Deep by Astrid Schult, which comes out in, I want to say March, maybe. Loki by Mackenzie Lee, which came out last year, and I really want to read that. And then The Hand on the Wall by Maureen Johnson, which is the 3rd and final book in the Truly Devious series, which comes out in January, I think, sometime.
Does it actually?
Was it out this week?
What?
I think it's out in January. Stand by.
I totally forgot it was out, like, early.
I'm like 90% sure it's January. January 21st, expected publication. So that's next week for us recording today on the 17th.
Well, I need to find a way of obtaining that.
It's going to be a trip down to the bookstore for me.
I read the first 2 as audiobook, and I feel like I kind of want to read the last one as audiobook as well.
Does that mean, do you reckon they'll release that at the same time? Is that a thing that people do?
I don't know. I feel like they do, but I don't know.
Or is it like DVD, like you show the movie and then like 6 months later you get the DVD?
Yeah, because like the paperback in like certain books, they will release paperback like a year later.
Yeah. But we don't get that many hardbacks here.
No, I will have to look into that because I kind of like I don't know who it is, but whoever
It's a
narrates
good voice,
it is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I will probably, if I end up like reading it, like physically reading it, I'm sure I'll like look at it and be like, who are these people?
Yeah.
They're like spelled differently or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't actually have a copy of blank. What's the second one called?
The Vanishing Stair?
Yes, I don't have a copy of that one, but why don't I have a copy of that one? How did I read that one? I got it from the library. Mm-hmm. That was the situation.
Maybe I could buy it. Because, I can buy books this year.
It's 2020, no book ban for Sophie.
Yeah.
But also, don't go mad.
I'm so proud of myself for only buying 4 books last year.
Amazing.
They were all either really cheap Kindle books or really cheap warehouse books. So I spent like $20 on books last year.
That's impressive.
Not including like lettering textbooks and stuff. Because that doesn't count.
Do you mean like novels?
Yeah, like fiction books.
Yeah.
So I spent like $20 and that was great. And I bought a book the other day that was like $12.
Oh dear. All right, good.
That's fine because it is on my books to read list. So
Good. What's on your list?
So I have Clockwork Angel because I finally need to start that series properly. Wayward Son
Nice.
because I haven't read it yet and I need to. Bridge of Clay.
Yep, Marcus Zuzak, right?
Yep. Don't know what it's about, but he's a good writer.
Yep.
Strange the Dreamer.
Yes, love.
Because you read about it and I haven't read it yet.
Oh no. Yep.
And the $12 book I bought the other day, Call the Midwife.
Oh, nice.
The TV show is excellent.
Yeah.
And I haven't actually read the book, so this is going to be one of those ones that I read after watching the thing, which will be interesting.
Yes, so is the Call the Midwife the book, like, is it a novel? It's not like a, book about the show?
No, it is the novel that the
show is
book
based
that
on.
the show is based on, but I assume it's like a book, but it could be like, I'm gonna open it and look at it.
All right.
I was gonna say, because it could be like letters or like a diary or something.
Please hold, caller.
No, it looks to me like a story. Oh, it has photos in it!
With pictures. Cool.
No, I'm distracted by photos.
Yeah.
So yes, those are my 5. But, I'm also going to read The Hand in the Wall and all those ones.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I think Cassandra Clare only has 1 book coming out this year.
Well, she better. Like, how does she write chunky-ass books? Like,
I don't know. She was going to have 3 books last year, but then they pushed Chain of Gold, which is the new, the beginning of a new series, which comes after Clockwork Angel, etc. They pushed it till, I think, March this year. Which I was, a bit sad about because I want to read that because I like the Clockwork Angel books more than the other books. And so I wanted to read Chain of Gold, but then I was like, actually, I don't have time for another, 800-page book.
How
I don't know if it is 800
that
pages.
much?
Let me check.
I don't know. That's crazy.
I don't even know. She's a machine. Chain of Gold. Hang on. The hardcover is 544 pages. Ugh. So not as extreme as the last one, which is good.
Okay.
Yeah, that one comes out in March.
That's so good.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about those.
Yeah.
I own 2 of them, so I need to get more of them. Because otherwise I'm never going to read them if I don't own them.
Yeah.
That would be good. And I'm excited to get into Wayward Son, even though I looked at my ratings and apparently I only rated the other one 3 stars.
Yeah, you didn't enjoy it as much. Yeah.
But I feel like I did enjoy it and I was excited for the second one. So I'm confused.
Yeah, well,
I don't know if I'm just radiating your excitement.
Maybe. There's a road trip in this one, so that's fun. Also, Baz has an excellent suit. So even if those 2 things excite you, then you'll be fine.
I'm sure I'll be fine. As long as I make it through and actually read it. It doesn't matter what I think about it because I read it and it's ticked off my list.
And it is shorter than Carry On as well. Yeah.
Yes, we discussed this.
Yeah.
That is weird. I don't understand that. Yeah. Anyway, Val to reread.
Okay, so this year I thought I would continue with my Harry Potter theme and reread Chamber of Secrets. I also would like to reread The Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson because I read this book years ago and really enjoyed it, but never read the second one. And then recently I bought the first 2 for really cheap. So I want to reread the first one so then I can read the second one. So reread that.
Yep.
I also wanted to reread last year but didn't add it to my list because I really had 9 books on my list instead of 5. A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Shaw. Yep. Definitely want to read that one. And then I thought it would be fun to reread Pumpkinheads later in the year
yes.
in October, and I kind of feel like this book may just become an annual thing to do because it's so cute.
Halloween.
And it's easy to read, and the pictures are Halloweeny. So that was illustrated by Faith Erin Hicks, and it's really cute. And oh look, I actually did add Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell to my list. I swear that I didn't. I was like umming and ahhing what book to put on my reread list. So apparently I do want to read Fangirl.
Well, maybe we can read Fangirl together.
Oh, maybe.
Force each other to do it.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe, I can't remember what the other book was. Yeah, maybe there wasn't just like another book that I really wanted to reread.
Yeah. That's how I felt like on my 5th one. I currently have a question mark on my list, on my book.
Yeah.
But I do have some like written down at the bottom that I'm going to toss up between. But...
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So that with Gathered, I put Fangirl on there. I also put Chamber of Secrets on there.
Oh, look at that.
Because I got Goblet of Fire, the illustrated one, for Christmas. So I kind of want to start reading each one each year kind of thing. Yeah. Yep. So we did we did Philosopher's Stone last year. So I do Chamber of Secrets this year, Prisoner of Azkaban next year, Goblet of Fire after that. And hopefully by that time I have at least another one to continue with.
Yeah. I think, because it was 2 years between Prisoner of Azkaban and Goblet of Fire.
I can't remember if that was just because it took longer or because he had some, like, life
other projects. Okay.
But hopefully it's, like, one a year because then I'll catch up. But, yes, so I have that. I also have Mythos. I want to reread that. Yep. I also want to buy that so I can reread it because you read the audiobook last time because, Stephen Fry, he's great. But, I don't intake as much knowledge as I do when I'm actually physically reading, and I don't remember half of it, so so I'm going to reread that, and I'm going to buy the book and have it on my shelf because I can buy books. And then I had The Hunger Games because I enjoyed reading Divergent last year, so I thought I'd add another one on. And
also it can be in preparation for the prequel that's coming out this year.
I forgot about that. Excited about that. That's good. And then I had question mark.
Okay. What's on your question mark?
To be honest, I only have 2, but I feel like there's something I really want to reread, but I don't know what it is, because I feel like I don't own it, and, like, the only way I could remember how to reread things was if I owned that. I kind of just went through my shelves.
Yeah. So, maybe you need to make a to-reread shelf on Goodreads.
Yeah, because I went through Goodreads too, and I couldn't figure out what it was, but I swear there's one that I really want to reread, but I can't remember what it is. So I currently have The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime and Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert.
Okay, yep.
So it might end up being one of those two.
It might
might not. I might figure it out, but I will update you guys when I know.
Awesome.
But I feel like I have enough to go on until I finally decide.
Until you remember what the other book was.
And don't worry, I'm not going to, like, reread something and then put it on my list. I'm not going to cheat.
You remember what it was, and then...
Yes.
Okay, so just having a look on my Goodreads, I've got a to-reread shelf, and apparently there are 74 books on it.
I really need to sort out my shelves, because I have none.
Oh, Holes. That would be a good reread.
That would be fun.
I loved that book. I didn't even look at this list, and I could have done.
I might also reread the second in the Anna and the French Kiss series just for the fun of it.
Nice. Yeah. Just keep on with the
I have like
the theme.
A books to read list in my bullet journal, which I haven't actually started yet. I've just done the page, so I'm excited to just go in there and write everything down.
Fill it out. Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out what I actually wanted to read.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will figure that out. But yes,
nice.
That is me.
That's it.
It's a substantially shorter episode than last.
Yes. Sorry, but also you're welcome.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fun.
Next week's will be long as well. Yeah. So next time's will be long as well.
Can't remember if we said less about the second half or more about the second half.
I know. I think it's slightly shorter.
Yeah.
But not by
That's
much.
alright. You love it. It's Harry Potter. That's basically what we talk about anyway.
Yep. No matter what the episode's about, Harry Potter will be in there.
We have mentioned it this episode more than once.
Yep.
Oh, good. Okay. Yay!
Right.
2020.
2020.
Let's read lots of books.
And wear lots of fringe.
Sure. Is that related to anything?
I already have that. No, just like it's the 20s now. I already have two
okay.
like 1920s parties planned for later in the year. So like I'm excited. Read the books, wear the fringe. 2020.
When you said fringe, I kind of imagine like cowboy fringe, not like 20s fringe.
I can totally rock cowboy fringe and we can have a barn dance, but I'm more about the flapper fringe this year.
Yes. Happy 2020 to you all, even though this is going a bit late, but yay, 2020. What are you most looking forward to reading in 2020? What is your most anticipated read? Let us know on our social media channels at Rants and Reviews Pod on Instagram and at Rants and Reviews on Twitter. Until then, happy reading.